Welcome to the Freaky Fauna Files podcast. We're your hosts, the chicken
and the egg,
where the internal question remains. Which one comes first?
Hi, my name's the egg, and I'm going to go first today. I hope you enjoyed our spooky episode last month. Go give it a listen if you haven't already. Today we're going to be boating up the Florida Everglades, which is one of the largest wetlands in the world.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be enlightening you all on the Florida manatee. Think hippo mixed with a beluga whale.
And I'm going to be covering the American crocodile and the alligator.
Oh, a twofer?
Oh.
If you are not already following us on social media, you can find us at Freaky Fauna Files. We are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook. So go check us out for clips of the freaky fauna that we discussed today. And before we dive in, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a tour of the Everglades in case you're not so familiar with this area. So historically, the Everglades covered about 11,000 square miles or 30,000 square kilometers, and this is over half of the peninsula of Florida. It now only covers about 7,800 square miles or about 20,000 square kilometers. So it's gotten a little bit shorter over the years, for sure.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. The main reason for this decrease in size is largely because of urbanization and flood control. And flood control is simply the limiting of the flow of fresh water from upstream rivers into the wetlands.
Boo.
I know, boo. Why do we even mess with that stuff?
Flood control. Oh, well, I mean,
you got to leave it to the beavers.
You're right.
Leave it to the beavers. They are the natural, what is
architects?
it? Yeah, architects. Back to it, the Everglades consist of a variety of habitats, including hardwood hammocks and pinelands.
Hardwood hammocks?
Yeah, that's an interesting term. Pinelands, which are the tall, dense trees that create a dark swamp below.
Ooh. That's where I'm lurking.
Yeah, I feel like that's typically where, like, I see pictures taken, right? Mm-hmm. Like, when I think of the Florida Everglades, swamps, yeah, you think of those, like, swamps. I also think of mangroves, and mangroves are super important for the environment. They are saltwater trees that will grow in the water with roots that create like this pyramid structure above the water. This allows for tiny nooks and crannies for juvenile fish, birds, reptiles, whatever you can think of, to hide in there and call that place home until they're big enough to move on to a different area. You can also find some freshwater streams and rivers, as well as marine/saltwater bays. And these bays are actually going to be found closer to Florida's border, where the freshwater bay actually comes into contact with the saltwater ocean. So that's a little bit about the Everglades itself, kind of like geographically. Let's get more into kind of the critters.
So, animals we're going to be seeing: frogs, turtles, snakes, alligators, crocodiles, hint, hint, nudge, nudge. And then we got lizards, birds, and then freshwater and saltwater fish due to that mixing, right?
Yep.
Deer, manatee, which are those sea cows.
Nudge, nudge.
Panthers, hogs, and armadillos.
Ooh.
And so this is the only place in the world where alligators and crocodiles coexist.
So it's hell on earth.
Yeah, right. The only place in the world is kind of crazy, though.
That is crazy. Like, I feel
Florida
like
Everglades.
Yeah, there are so many other places where bodies of water like this are mixing, and both of these dangerous animals just happen to be like Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Florida. Mm-hmm. There's something about the aura of Florida, like the vibe. Something is permeating out of that state, out of those waters that are causing this.
So, for the clarification, crocodiles are saltwater and alligators are freshwater. But here we're mixing. So we have 80 different species of mosquitoes here. I just wanted to drop that fact on you right now.
80 different species?
80 species of mosquitoes. However, only 33 bite humans. That's the silver lining.
But that's still 33 different species. I bet they have those big mofos that I don't know if you remember seeing it on like the news articles about whenever COVID was happening, we were also getting these like monster hornets and monster mosquitoes. Oh man, wild. So, a beautiful, well vegetated place, I guess, with lots of animals.
Yeah. And as stated before, since the Everglades are home to both saltwater crocodiles and freshwater alligators, that's what I'm going to be covering today.
Badass.
So the easiest way to tell them apart is that alligators have a wider U-shaped snout, while crocodiles are more V-shaped. And the teeth are exposed at the tip. So if you see like the, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That would be a crocodile.
I've also heard that whenever they open their mouths, if it forms a C, it's a crocodile. And if it forms an A, it's an alligator. You know, like you can picture it like it has like that curve.
So you better hope they don't open their mouth.
No, yeah, those I have dove with sharks and a whole bunch of other critters, and I do not want to be in the water with them at all. Like they come back. Like they come back. I don't know. Something about that. Their brains are small and they've been around for 100,000 years. Like it's crazy. Not literally, but.
So I've always grown up hearing A is for alligator, is for America, because we mostly have freshwater alligators, and we only have 2 species of saltwater crocs. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
So most of what you're going to see is freshwater alligator. Both of these saltwater crocs live in the Florida Everglades.
Yep.
So for going forward, I'm just going to focus on the alligator since that's mostly what we're going to find here. In fact, 200,000 alligators estimated to be in the Everglades.
Ma'am?
200,000, while we're only expected like 3,000 crocodiles. So there's your ratio.
Well, again, that's just like what we can count.
Yeah.
Or like what we can approximate. Like there's probably still so many more potentially. Ugh, that's a crazy number.
Terrifying.
In just the Everglades. Just the Everglades.
So historically, evolution-wise, alligators have remained unchanged for the past 8 million years, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Again, dinosaurs.
They evolved from semi-aquatic reptiles, so they spent some time in land, some time in water. Pretty much everything was the same except for they had comically longer arms and legs, and they just got shorter.
So they literally just had longer fucking limbs.
Back then, yeah.
Why? For what reason? No wonder they got shorter. They're like, gravity is a bitch.
My back hurts.
Yeah, they're like, let me get closer to the ground. I fucking feel that. Jeez. I mean, I think we're getting taller actually as humans.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
My back pain has me shorter.
Well, I mean, that's probably why we have worse back pain. We're getting taller. We're getting further from the ground.
So yeah, they evolved because they spent more time back in the water. They prefer the deeper waters of the swamps and slower moving streams over your fast moving rivers.
That makes sense. I always see them in I feel like I always see them in like stagnant water. Not like stagnant, but yeah, still.
So let's get down to it. This is the stuff I did not know, so
let's do it. Let's dig in.
During nesting season, particularly dry seasons, they will dig out pond for themselves. Just have a little puddle that they will protect to keep the eggs wet.
Oh, cute.
Gators spend most of their time in the water and only will come up to land to bask or, chase prey. They don't necessarily choose to hunt on land.
Yeah. It's just like if they're caught while they're on land, they'll be like, man.
Well, might as well.
Yeah, they're like, we're here.
Reptiles are cold-blooded. They're going to bask in the sun to regulate body temperature. And I found this really nice article that says, here's the stats. You ready? I'm going to spit numbers at you.
Please.
They spend 1% of their life foraging and hunting, 6% basking on land, 6% swimming underwater, 10% swimming on the surface, 37% sitting at the bottom of the water, and 41% sitting on the surface.
Why is that so satisfying to me? Like, I literally was thinking, I wonder what percentage of their life they spent basking. So well, I 100% appreciate only that 6%. Breakdown. It's such a thorough breakdown.
I know.
The differentiation between like swimming underwater and on the surface.
So compared
6%
to
basking. Interesting.
the time they spend actively moving, 78% of the time they are doing nothing. They're floating, or they're sunken, or they are basking. 78% of the time. That's kind of nice.
That's alive. Yeah. Yeah. They probably don't have the mental capacity for much more.
That's no thoughts, just vibes.
No thoughts, just vibes. Yeah, for sure.
So that's called ectothermic. They rely on an external source for body heat. So they're most active when the temperature is 82 to 92 Fahrenheit, 28 to 33 Celsius. And they're just going to go night-night dormant if it's 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 13 degrees Celsius. They don't go night-night, but, they're, like, inactive.
They're 9-9. They're half 9-9 because their dinosaur brains are like, we have to stay active.
The winter, it's coming. So when it gets too cold, they are known to dig tunnels up to 65 feet deep or 20 meters into the ground and
what? Excuse me?
Hibernate.
65 fucking feet?
I hope
you're lying. You're
what?
lying, dude. That's 6 stories. That's like a 6-story hotel. That's how tall that is. That's a lot of pickup trucks.
You won't be
you might, yeah, I don't know. That's wild. 6.
So we are back from fact checking that, and
Holy
it is
shit.
indeed 65 feet or 20 meters into the ground.
Yeah, so have you ever seen those fucking little holes in like a swamp or something that's just like in the grass and you're like, that looks like a small little hole? Apparently those are not small little holes. Apparently those are 65-foot deep alligator holes.
I don't know, man.
Oh, man. Fuck.
So,
the more you know.
Yeah.
Don't go into those holes. That's a bad hole. That's a bad hole.
Okay, so
all right.
They're armored with scutes,
Scoots.
good old the bony plates.
Yeah.
And those serve
like
as
gar, right?
protection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Protection, water retention, heat retention, and that's basically what you're going to find on most reptiles and amphibians, right?
Yeah.
Their tails make up over half of their body length, and the tails are full of bone covered with even sharper scutes. They use the tail for swimming and obviously as a weapon to pinata their prey. Alligators have 4 legs, 5 toes on the front, 4 in the back. Business in the front, party in the back.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Gotta get serious. They gotta have those front.
They have an extra toe for digging.
Yeah, for digging. We're digging deep.
They have eyes, ears, and nostrils all on the top of their head so that they can keep the rest of their body submerged.
Oh, yeah, because you just kind of see them floating at the surface.
That profile.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This helps with energy expenditure. So they basically just, like, say, ragdoll limp.
Yeah.
And just keep their face, above water.
I mean, whenever you float in the water, like on our backs, it's super relaxing. Like, imagine being able to do it on your belly and still being able to breathe. That's a whole different level of relaxation.
So they're going to be mostly black, brown, and babies have a vibrant yellow stripe.
Ooh.
I know. Obviously they're, well, maybe not obviously, because,
never know.
Alligators are carnivores, and they do not eat any plants, fruits, or berries. Meat only. In the Everglades, adult gators are going to go after larger fish, nesting birds, turtles, and mammals such as raccoons, deer, boar, hogs, and nutria. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of nutria.
I looked it up. It's just like a little aquatic mammal. It looks like a beaver. It looks like a beaver capybara to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's in the Everglades?
Of course it is.
Huh. Everything is. Yeah.
So, I know. Crocodiles have a bite force of 2,000 pounds per square inch.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we compare them, I think, with the hippo? I think we did. Yeah.
That's less than a crocodile. Crocodile is going to be closer to 3,000.
Oh, my shit.
But the strongest bite force of all the crocodilian is going to be the Nile crocodile. And they got 5,000.
Yeah, they're the ones that are taking down the wildebeest and stuff during the Great Migration. They just got to go to town. They got to fight hippos. So, yeah, they better be strong.
So the strongest bite force, okay. Nile crocodile, 5,000. Guess how much the orca from episode 1, his bite force.
Do I even want to know?
Yes.
8,000.
19,000.
What the?
Just
Shut the front door. Shut the front door. 19,000.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even put that in perspective? That's like,
well, it's also considered their just size, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, because it's the size behind it, but
it's still, you know, a ratio. You know,
it's
pounds per square inch. That's insane.
Yeah, 19.
Mm-hmm. And to delight you, I would love for you to listen to an alligator courtship. It's called bellowing. These are some of the noises they used in Jurassic Park to mimic the T-Rex.
Oh, I think I've heard some before. Do you have the YouTube already thing? Yo, yes. Play that shit. We are waiting for... That does not sound real. They nailed it on the head, though, that it does sound like something from Jurassic Park, considering Jurassic Park used that sound in it.
So you're going to hear that bellowing in the spring. That's mating season. And guess how many eggs? Quick.
10.
35 to 45.
Oh, that's a good amount.
They're going to lay them in the fall, so they have about a 3-month gestation period.
That's not a long time.
Nah. The females are going to dig nests, which are a large hole above the ground, and they fill it with, you know, they're decent. They fill it with
Is it 35?
vegetation.
Is it 35 feet deep hole? Like,
I don't know. I don't have that fact.
1 foot for each egg.
Right. And compared to other reptiles, they actually have a significant amount of parental care.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so the mother's going to protect that nest for even up to a year after they've hatched. A year,
A year?
She sticks around. That's so
Okay.
nice.
Wow. Very dutiful. She's putting in that time.
She is. And from the inside of the egg, those who are ready to hatch will make little sounds, and the mom comes over and she helps rip open the leathery egg.
That's so cute she goes and helps.
She helps.
It doesn't just eat its way out or crawls its way out.
Unfortunately, most of the eggs don't survive predators, right? Because those are a delicious commodity.
Oh, yeah. A lot of protein.
And I just want you to hear the sound of a baby alligator.
Oh, my shit.
That
was like a laser gun.
I was just about to say a laser gun.
Pew, 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 pew. Did they sample that for Star Wars?
They might have.
Pew, pew.
Catch them in the credits.
Pew, pew.
And after about 3 years, the bebes will leave their nest and their mom's territory to seek out their own. And the cycle continues.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The cycle of life. How beautiful.
The next one's cool.
Wow. Wow.
So those are my alligator and crocodile.
Perfect.
I will meet you in the danger zone.
The danger zone. The danger zone.
Welcome to
danger zone.
the danger zone.
Woo.
So the gators made it. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. In fact, I have been enthusiastically looking forward to this the whole time.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I'm here to tell you that gators are ambush predators and they hunt at night.
Fantastic.
So
yes. The stalkers of the water.
They're going to have several methods to kill prey.
Several?
And it's going to be ranked by size, right?
Yeah.
So smaller prey is killed by bite, you know. Simple, effective, quick.
All right.
Larger prey is taken underwater and held there to be drowned.
The worst way to die.
Wait.
Yeah, by definition.
If you are a little bit defiant or you're actually fighting back, you might get the death roll.
If you're a little bratty.
Which is a violent roll to subdue and dismember prey.
Oh, is that the infamous roll?
Yes.
Oh.
The death.
Oh, it just rips off limbs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just throwing you around like a rag doll.
Because it can. It's a dinosaur.
Surprisingly, though, since 1948, there's only been 26 deaths by alligator in Florida. But there has been 453 attacks that were non-fatal.
Well, I mean, I guess there is a win there. that it wasn't 453 deaths.
I'm still surprised at how low both of those numbers are.
Yeah, I guess in what? Almost 100 years?
Yeah, 48. So 80 years.
80 years?
Well, yeah, 76.
Okay.
Yeah. So the first ever recorded death in Florida was in 1899. There's probably way more before that, but we're talking about recorded deaths.
Recorded.
Delano Wood was 16 years old when he was attacked by an alligator. He managed to escape. He swam to shore, but he died from his injury.
Yeah, I'm sure there's not too much aftercare.
Yeah.
During, 1899?
So I've compiled some notable stories that could make it to the danger zone.
Give it to me.
And these are all just Florida Everglades stories, right? Not like alligator encounters.
Oh, because I'm sure there's so much. I mean, we could have covered. I bet we will. We should do the Nile crocodile if we ever do like Africa Part 2.
We're going to start with May 14th, 2006. Anne Marie Campbell, 23. She was attacked by a gator while she was snorkeling. Her friends were able to pull her from the gator's mouth, but she had already died. Autopsy showed she died from drowning and suffered many lacerations to the head, neck, and ribs.
So she was defiant.
Yeah. she got the death roll. But she fought.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, how can you not?
They later caught the suspect, 12 feet. 400-pound gator, and they identified it by the scratches around his eye, meaning that Campbell inflicted by attempting to defend herself.
Good for her. She managed to damage the beast that ended up taking her life. Wow, good.
Next is November 13th, 2007. Justo Patron, age 36, was fleeing the police when he jumped into a retention pond.
Oh my gosh.
While trying to wait out the police, he was attacked and killed by an alligator.
Wow, that reminds me of the guy who ran into the emu enclosure. Wrong place, my guy. Yeah, karma got him. But again, R.I.P. We're never sad about any of these deaths. We're never sad.
August 20th, 2018, Cassandra Klein, 45, died while protecting her dog from an alligator.
Oh, man.
The dog walked away unharmed.
Oh, that's even worse. The dog is going to be sad. The dog is going to be sad.
Okay, but what do you mean?
If it was Nina, she would want to go with me.
Oh, bro.
For sure. That's sad. We move on.
August 30th, 2021. Timothy Satterley, he was 71. He was attacked right outside his home as he was wading through the floodwaters of Hurricane Ida. He was killed.
Oh. So not only is he having to deal with flooding from a hurricane, but that's how he goes? Just a gator just in, gnaw your mind today?
Have you seen the movie Crawl?
Oh, yeah, that movie is horrifying.
That's basically that movie.
Oh, it is that movie. It is. I wonder if it crawled into his basement. Oh, man.
Ew.
Oh, they're making a Crawl too.
Are they really?
I heard that they were. I don't know how they're going to.
I don't know either. It's really not that notable of a storyline.
I know. It was good because it was a cool concept, but don't do.
We don't need a second one.
Yeah, how are you going to progress the plot, my guy? Part 2, is it going to turn into Sharknado? We're going to have Crawl 6?
Yeah, bro. Fast and Furious 10.
Fast and Furious 10?
Okay. So in February 2023, this is the last one.
Okay.
85-year-old woman was killed by an alligator while walking her dog.
Ugh.
The woman's family is suing the real estate company that owns the property.
What?
Because it is somehow their fault for the alligator.
Because they can control nature and where alligators go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good.
But yeah, I kept it short and sweet.
That's beautiful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you kept the gore level to a minimum. We didn't have to do a gore warning this time.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Way to go.
And that's all I have for the alligator, and I am excited to see what you have up your sleeve.
Yeah, so we are going to be ending the episode here, and we're going to be going to part 2 in the next episode, where I'm going to dive into the manatee and talk a little bit more about those beautiful, fat,
sea cow,
kind of not fat creatures.
Sea cow.
Sea cows. The sea cows.